We are currently in the process of having a massive internet collapse in that there is no internet functioning in this house. And I've got a solution, which I've just left in the office. There we go. We've got these Google Home Wi-Fi mesh network thing, you see over there. And you have to plug a broadband into it via a wire. And I've got loads of tethering on my phone, but obviously you can't plug an Ethernet cable into your phone. So the solution is Wi-Fi extender. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug this into the primary Google Home Wi-Fi point. Let's turn them both off for now. This, like that. The Ethernet cable out the back of here. Should be able to just plug that into the... Now this should all work. Google Home Wi-Fi has internet. Great idea. Now I can put my phone up in the bedroom to upload today's vlog post. Excellent. That'll be uploaded in a minute then. Good old 4G. We're just running out to do a quick bit of emergency shopping because we're going to see some friends really quite soon, and I've got a secret Santa present to get.
And I need to get some new bullets.
Yeah, you lost those ones, didn't you? Ooh, sun's out. Oh. Windy. Very windy. Okay, so good news is I've got the internet going again. Well, I didn't. I rang BT and they managed to fix it remotely, which is amazing. So it's just a case of trying to squeeze a bit of quick shopping in and try and get Jasper some new bullets for his Nerf gun. The other 2 bullets are on the roof of my parents' house, and I've also got to get a secret Santa present as well. And then we're going to talk a little bit about what I think is probably the most important thing that needs improving for EVs to reach a wider audience. And I'm kind of basing this on an article I read about VW planning to double production on their e-Golf. And it doesn't really surprise me that sales of the e-Golf are going well, because the VW Golf has got a long, proud history for many decades, in fact. And many people love the cars. It's got good pedigree. I think that's the phrase we're looking for here. What it lacks is a decent range. Now, it comes with I think it's a 35 kilowatt hour battery, good for around 120, 125 miles. And at that range, it starts to become really quite a doable vehicle. Certainly compared to the previous generation's rather pathetic 83 miles of range. So the question is, what is the most important thing for driving EV adoption up? I mean, you've got things like charging time, you've got availability of quick chargers, and you've got range, and you've got things like acceleration as well, of course. I always kind of, yeah, you know, I always thought range was the key thing, because I had a Nissan Leaf and that had like an 80-mile range. So you take off 20 for an emergency and that's 60, and then if it's cold or wet or the wind's in the wrong direction, 50, and that's really shocking. But if it had come with 120, 130 mile range, then I'd have been able to get a solid 80, 90 out of it whenever. Now obviously in a Tesla Model S things are slightly different from a range point of view, which is why I don't really consider range to be the issue anymore.
I want bullets.
Yeah, we've run out of those, Jasper. They didn't have the right size, they only had the small ones. Sorry. That was literally the most useless shopping trip I've ever had. I got nothing, not one single thing on my list. What's that shop? I think they do wines and chocolates and flowers. See all the scooters?
Scooters?
Yeah, loads of scooters.
Yeah.
Okay, so in summary, when I had a Nissan Leaf and not much range, range was like absolutely the 100% most necessary thing. And now I have a Tesla and I'm like, range, you know, 240, 230, 200, even 150, it's all good. And I think that's kind of basically how it goes. When range is really low, it becomes a massive barrier to people buying these cars. But once you get to a certain point, it rapidly starts to be a less essential, you know, thing to have. You know, certainly an extra 5–10% when you've already got 200 miles is really, yeah, nice to have, but I probably wouldn't sway my purchasing decision. Right, jump in, Jasper. Oh, yeah, so once you've got a reasonable range, I think things like charging speed, what kind of quick charging the car can do, those sorts of things become massively more important. So obviously looking at this, you can see why Teslas are so popular, because they got the range and they got the quick charging and they got the network and all the rest of it. Good news is, as the cars get longer and longer range, I think a larger and larger group of people will be perfectly happy to buy them, and then people will start hopefully to be in EVs as passengers and see their friends and family buying them and think, yeah, you know what, I'll give that a try, and then they'll find that they're actually fantastic cars and they can't live without them. Where are we, Jasper? Let's go in and grab some food. Jump out. Yeah, came off in the wind. We've got to do some majorly serious tidying up. This place is just shocking. Final thought then, I'm really hopeful for EVs, given that if range is the main barrier in order for substantial numbers of people to buy them, maybe not everyone, but substantial, then I think things like the infrastructure, charging speeds, they're all going to get fixed. And range is being fixed right now. Batteries are constantly getting cheaper and more readily available, higher production numbers, more energy dense, more power dense as well. It just generally, it's all good, it's all moving in the right direction, and I'm very excited to see what 2018 is going to have in store for us when it comes to EV sales numbers. Right, I'm going to say goodbye now because I have a house to tidy, and then we need to start packing again because we're going away for New Year's and all that jazz. So, I hope you've enjoyed today's blog post. If you have, remember to like it, share it and subscribe if you haven't already, and follow me on Instagram if you don't already, and I will see you tomorrow for the next installment of my daily vlog. Bye! Jump out!
Why did it's shiny?
Because you're a child. Yeah, it washed my wheels well, didn't it, that flood?